Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. Guys, first thing I want to do is say thank you, thank you, thank you to the channel members. I appreciate you all more than you know. And I want to invite any of y'all that might be new to the channel. If you've seen a couple of videos or you're just coming through for the first time, if you would please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon. It'd really help me out and it'll notify you when I release new content on the daily. And then finally, I'm going to drop my IG down here in case any of y'all want to connect over there. It's the same handle as here at jevans underscore knife addict underscore life. So today what I'm going to bring you is my overview, midterm impressions. Still got to do a lot of testing and bring you some long-term impressions, but I wanted to share my thoughts on the Divo Growler V2. I got the Divo Growler V2 in last week. I also ordered the purple anode hardware kit that comes with the Backspacer with hardware, pivot collar, and it comes with all the internal hardware as well, a couple of bearings, and another clip. I added that just to see how easy it would be. I wanted to take the knife apart, and I was amazed at how easily it came apart, went back together. The cleanliness of the build. It is an exquisite knife, guys. It's in 154 cm, has a fantastic snappy detent. It's a finger flipping deployment hole only. You can front flip it if you're good at front flipping. I would never front flip it. But a couple of things that we'll look at next to the V1 Growler and some improvements that they made besides the detent, the overall fit and finish, and it's just done better. But things that you'll notice is the scales, mine are carbon fiber, are contoured. They're slightly contoured. And then the blade spine has jimping that runs all the way down the usable spine till you get to that clip point or to that drop point. And then the deployment hole has been shrunken down to make it easier to not have that accidental finger slip through the hole. The variation I got was the carbon fiber with the satin, belt satin blade. They also had this in a Stormtrooper with the white G10, and if I'm not mistaken, a black blade. And then they also had it in aluminum, blue aluminum, with a either satin or a stonewash blade. But I always wanted to try to grab the carbon fiber, and I was successful. I was there right when they dropped. I love the look of this weave carbon fiber, and I can't stress enough for a knife that after my discount was under $100. What a value, guys. I mean, this carbon fiber is thick. You've got inset liners. You've got a beautiful 154 cm satin blade. You've got a deployment hole and jimping that just improves over the original. The ergos of this knife, very similar, as crazy as this sounds, to the Evo and the Padre. You've got these two. You got this choil up front, and you've got this nice secondary grip. And again, I've got a medium to large size hand. We'll get some measurements here in a second, but I can assure you that I can get a full 4-finger grip on that knife. You've got excellent access to the lock bar. Right here inside your blade where your finger choil is, you've got the blade designation, and that is the only marking anywhere on the blade. You do have the Divo on the pivot, just a little insignia, but again, an absolutely clean knife, done extremely well. I'm on the fence. I was looking today at some Lynch clips. I may order a satin Lynch clip, replacement clip, just because I think this knife looks so elegant. And I love the function of the wire clip. I just might want to dress it up a little bit. I saw some different flame ones. I couldn't find anything in purple to match this, but yeah, I'm still out to, the jury is out on the clip. So I'm going to real quickly break out my V1 and we're going to look at the differences together. So of course, the materials and the different configurations were different. This one was in a flat scaled micarta, black wash blade, no jimping on the spine here. And then the blade hole, I don't know if you can see through that, but the blade hole is much deeper. So what that resulted in, I could flip this knife effortlessly once I got used to it. But if you weren't paying attention, you can get your finger and it would actually slip through that hole. And then you'd be left quacking. Quack, 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 quack. So that can be a problem. I kind of did it there. But once you get used to the knife and you know where to put your finger, it's a joy. I didn't miss the jimping until I felt what it was like, because it's not too aggressive. It just gives your thumb an absolutely strong purchase. The blade hole is done so well because there's no way you can get your finger through there. Anywhere you can catch the blade hole, you're going to be able to deploy it. I love the way you've got the spelt satin vertically going down the blade and then horizontally up here on the flat. And you can tell those scales are contoured on the carbon fiber or the aluminum or the G10, and they're going to be flat on the OG version of the growler, but the size and everything else is pretty much the same. Clip's different, of course. They went from the cheap metal clip, which I didn't have a problem with, to the wire clip, which I don't have a problem with. So let's do a couple of quick size comparisons real quick, and then we'll get some measurements and a weight. So if we were to look at this next to the Cold Steel 4MAX, it's going to be smaller than the 4MAX. And if we were going to whip it up next to the Baby Banter, it's going to be larger than the Civivi Baby Banter. So if we took our Benchmade bug out, it's going to be right close to the same size, maybe just a hair smaller than the, or a hair longer than the Baby Banter, and a good bit shorter, close to an inch shorter than that Paramilitary 2. So guys, I would say that those knives for horseshoes and hanger nades are the same size. So let's see what that translates into in the best way I can read a tape measure, which is not very good. So the overall length of this knife, by my measurement, 7.5 inches. The blade is going to come in at right under 3.25 inches. Cutting edge is 3.25 inches because of that belly. The handle is right under 4.25, and where I get my grip is right at 4 inches. And I'm talking about from here to here. So if I come up to the choil to right here, that's a 4-inch spread. Guys, this knife, I put skiffs in it when I did the hardware swap out. This has absolutely no side to side, no up and down. It is perfectly centered. The skiffs have broken in because I didn't put a lot of lubrication in there. And I'm here to tell you that this knife is a home run. In my opinion, and this is no dishing on any of the other knives that Divo makes, but the Growler has always been my favorite design. I was a big fan of the V1. So in carbon fiber, it's 3.55 ounces. So we've come down from 3.75. So considerably lighter, and that's done because of some of the milling, some of the ways they dealt with the interior of the knife. And just, guys, I know these are sold out right now, and I'm not a mind reader and I don't have any insider information, but my guess would be that there's going to be another batch of these because the demand was so high and they went so quickly. I would urge any of you to go to White Mountain Knives website, go to the Growler V2 page, and put your email address in there in case they come back in stock or they decide to do a release that you'll be notified. Um, or you can go to Blade Show. Blade Show West, they're going to be, I want to say, 30 of each variant out there that Kevin and Colin are going to take. Um, Again, I'm very, very pleased with the knife. I've been carrying it for the last 3 days. I have not gotten my Padre out of the case since I got it in. That's my new Kunwu that I just love. I have not carried my Riot Exo. I have not carried my Meerkat. I've been carrying the Growler V2, guys. And when I first put in the purple hardware, I said that was just going to be for science, that I doubt I would stick with that purple hardware. But the more I look at it, it's growing on me. And I'm thinking that this knife's going to be a purple hardware knife. I kept the other hardware, the stainless and the blue pivot collars. Whoops, went too far. Now, one thing I might do, I doubt it, but I might play around with it, is I might change out that stainless pivot to see if that gives it any different pop. You know, if that maybe pops off the stainless blade and helps pop off that clip. But guys, yeah, the Divo Growler V2, I think it's a mad win. I want to say this was $109 retail. I put in my 10% Javon 10 code. It dropped off, I think it brought it down to $99, something like that, free shipping. So this knife came into me for under $100. Comparing that to the Mash at about 125, even though it's in full titanium, this design is more preferential to me. And it's just because it's got the big belly and it's so slicey. Let me break out some of my subscriber donated HP copy paper. And let's watch how that big flat grind the belly let me come out that time. Guys, the blade geometry on this, that was me in the choil. The blade geometry on this knife, the factory sharpness, the fact that it's 154 cm, and it'll be easy to keep an edge on this. I think the Growler, with its tall flat grind and its beautiful blade geometry, was designed to be a slicer. Let's do this. Let's see how bitey it is. Very slicey, guys. That is the Divo Growler V2. I pointed out 3 upgrades that I was able to notice right off the bat, from the contoured scales to the smaller hole in the blade to the jimping on the spine. But again, it's a different manufacturer, Kubey, and the detent is night and day. This detent I was fine with, but it is much lighter. It's a much lighter detent, accompanied with that larger hole, can cause it to have the occasional fail, right? I've not failed this knife once. I don't know if you could fail this knife. I think as long as you push it out past that detent, it's going to come open. But guys, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Thank you so much for watching the content. Thank you so much for the channel members. You guys help me out more than you'll ever know. And I ask you all to please look out for that guy or gal to your left. Please look out for that guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.